If you're a coach, consultant, or service provider and you're building your personal brand this year to grow your business, listen up, because I realize that most people do it the wrong way. Before trying to rush to make it polished and cool, how about focusing on building strong foundations that will allow you to build trust and grow your business in the long run? Because I found out that before prospects become clients, they have to say yes to 3 fundamental things. And by answering them positively, prospects will like you, trust you, and will wanna work with you 10 times more, because they'll be already clear on what you do and who you are. But before we get into it, I wanna ask you something. Do you ever feel like no matter what you post, it just doesn't stick? You've tried every strategy, every hack, every cheat code the gurus promised it would work, and yet here you are, still asking yourself if it's even worth it. And truth is, you know the power of having a personal brand. You know you need to build trust, but somehow it's not happening. You either don't know where to start or you're completely confused. So you keep posting random content hoping something will finally click. However, what if there was a system that actually gets these 3 yeses you need from your audience? So they trust you, relate to you, and are ready to work with you without the guesswork, the wasted hours, or the low quality leads, and most importantly, while being aligned with you. So luckily for you, that's exactly what we'll talk about in this video. So get a pen and paper and let's get straight into it. So which are those 3 yeses and why are they so important? Well, number 1 is the yes to the outcome. And why you need a yes to the outcome? Because if people don't feel like the outcome you offer them is actually desirable and solves their big problem, then you've already lost a lot of interest. So what you want here to do is solve a big painful problem for your ICP or your dream follower and get them basically from point A, which they are now, to point B, their desired reality. And actually it doesn't have to be something complex. Keep it simple but powerful. Basically, that's your offer and we're trying to get the yes to your offer. Why should they believe that this is legit and this might even work for them? So that leads me to how to actually do that. First thing is that you want to know who your ICP is, which you probably know already if you're watching this video, and then you have to know what they really want. And after you understood who they are and what they really want, and paint this picture in their heads basically of what it would actually be like if they solved that problem and got to their desired reality. And you can solve that through your content, right? But careful here. We don't want at all to spam salesy content. I actually hate straight up selling through content, and if you're expecting to see something like this in this video, then I don't think this video is for you, buddy. So instead, what you should focus on is using content to show the before and after and how this could work for them. And storytelling here is the key by far in this type of content and this type of format. But why should you even tell a story like that and show the before and after? Because as people, we tend to like and connect with people whose stories makes us feel certain emotion and resonate, or actually be seeing what's possible through their story and through their transformation or through someone else's transformation. Doesn't really matter unless they actually seen what's possible. And so if you focus on showing the outcome through storytelling content, IG stories and raw videos, you'll win. It's that simple. So, but now you might ask, well, how do I get them from point A to point B? And that, my friend, that's where the second yes comes in. The yes to your method. And it's very important to emphasize this because each person has their own way of guiding clients to achieve the desired results. And so clients, they choose what method is actually more applicable to them and which method actually aligns with them. And so to get the yes to the method, you have to show that it's the bridge from point A to point B, as we talked about these points earlier, and to emphasize in its importance. Your content must be designed in a way so to be informative, educational, and also raw behind the scenes glimpses of your offer, your unique way, method of getting your ICP to achieve the desired outcome, which we've talked previously, you promised them. And you want to keep it simple, no fluff, no complicated cool tactics or any of these. Just a simple roadmap that actually works. And to validate that it's working, you have to show proof, testimonials, reviews, client cases. And it's very important to show this because you don't want to speak out of thin air. You have to some level of proof of what you're talking about, and proof basically that your vehicle can actually get someone from point A to point B. Right? Basically anything that makes you seem as someone who knows what they're doing, not a random guru preaching cool things. So if you show the outcome you help your ICP achieve, and by what way you do so, backed by real proof, you already halfway there to build actual trust and attract high quality ideal clients. And so I have to say that this yes is very important as well, because it makes you seem as someone who knows what they're doing and how you actually helping clients. Without getting this yes, people are just stuck to knowing your outcome without knowing that there's actually a vehicle that you provide them to help them get to their desired result, which is most likely to grow their business, right? So you have to show how you actually help them do that. But as you can see, there's a huge but here, and that's for a reason, because if you miss the third and last yes your audience needs to say to you, you'll blend with the other thousands in the online space, and trust will be seen as a distant, unattainable goal. Because truth is, everyone has an offer, a shiny method, and etc. etc. But there's something that the online space is starting to lack a lot of lately. Even if, fun enough, this was all about in the first place in the early days of social media and internet, and that's actually what's causing this trust recession that a lot of people are talking about. So that means that the third yes is what else? The yes to you as a person, your stories, your values, your struggles, your own unique perspective, anything basically that makes you being you actually. And that third yes is actually the most important one, because in an era where AI is taking over and more people start sounding robotic, your human side, your story is what will actually break this endless cycle of lifeless outcomes and businesses. Because truth is that business is all around people. And so how can you trust a person to work with where all you've seen from them is a 30-second ad and a head talk video about their method? Seems robotic and fake, right? Because it is, if you see it from that perspective. And that's why some strategies, aka old traditional funnels, doesn't really work that much in this current version era of the online space. And back then they used to work because trust was high, but now that trust came down, they came down as well. But I already talked about all these things in a previous video. You can watch it here or here to know basically what to do instead of the funnels. But let's continue with what I was saying. So whereas if you share your story, why you're doing this, and behind the scenes and raw moments, basically those human touches is what connect, build trust, and comes to a close, to a client close. I literally can't stress this enough, how important it is to show that you're a genuine human being and that you're doing it for the right reasons, and how important it is to show you're a genuine, ethical, cool person, and unless you're not. But being in this point of the video, you probably are. So yeah, you know what to do. And show yourself with your goods and the bads. So yeah, if you get these 3 yeses for your personal brand, people start liking, connecting, and trusting you more, which leads to more and kinda effortless closes. And now you're probably like, well, George, how do I actually get them? And the answer, my friend, is by having a content ecosystem of one, which basically what this is all about is a system around you, your personal brand, and your business that attracts, nurtures, and pre-sells ideal clients through strategic content. And actually that system also helped Daniel and Paige build a strong personal brand and more trust, which led to closing 30K within 6 weeks. No crazy funnels, no fancy tactics, just is basically a simple aligned with you system that actually works for you. So if you want to know how to create a content ecosystem of one for your personal brand, as well as what content to create to do so practically and not just theory, then all you have to do is subscribe in this channel and follow me on Instagram for more frequent content. And if you're a coach, consultant, or service provider who's serious about growing a genuine personal brand with a system behind that actually helps you scale your business using your personal brand, DM me ecosystem on Instagram and I will personally reach out to you to have a chat and see if I can actually help you and provide you with a full roadmap as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.